Alright, welcome to a walkthrough of Empyrion Galaxy Survival's Reforged Eden add-on or scenario. This is for the 1.5 scenario, and this is a video that's targeted towards new people who have not got the hang of Reforged Eden or are not understanding how to get past the original storyline, just because it's a little tough sometimes. It's not your basic walk through the story and survive. You got to kind of preemptively set stuff up ahead of time before you do certain missions. So we're going to start off with the survival mode. Chose a random seed number in here. Difficulty settings are set to custom because we're enabling CPU and mass and volume measurements. And I have my constructor speed set to fast, which will just help with just progressing. Everything else is set the same. We're using Akua as the starter planet rather than New Haven. Haven is just a bit too easy sometimes. You get a lot of resources given to you, a lot of basic resources, but a lot. And there's no base attacks on those. Whereas Akua, you get base attacks. You have your starter resources available to you. Your rewards are okay, but not as gracious as the harder levels, where harder levels you have a lot of the more advanced resources, advanced rewards that allows you to start building ships and big ships ahead of time. So I almost find starting this game actually a little harder than what some people do in the videos because they're always starting on hard planets. Hard planets are hard if you don't know what you're doing though. So let's see, so other than that, everything else looks about right. So let's just go ahead and start this planet. Coming in for a crash landing. Oh, let's take a quick look. We got something over there. Not much.
Prologue, Journey into the Unknown. You've awoken in a damaged escape pod, injured and alone after it's plummeted through the atmosphere of an unknown world. With no memory of how you got here and little at your disposal, the crackling of your suit's radio puts you on the path toward answers somewhere out in the wilderness of this alien planet.
What is this place? Where the hell am I? The last thing I remember, I was aboard Apollon Station getting ready to ship out. What happened to the station? To the crew? I've got to radio the fleet.
UCH Fleet, come in. I repeat, UCH Fleet, come in. Please respond. Please come on. Anyone? Please respond.
Intel, data, signal, radio, calibration, assist, transmission, proceed.
It's faint, but that's definitely a UCH transmission. They is other survivors here. But I can't understand what they are saying. I need some way to clean up their transmission. There is probably an antenna among some of the wreckage on the ground that I can use to boost the signal strength. It's just a matter of finding a functional device.
Alright, so we are starting on this unknown planet that we crash landed on. Picked up our survival tool, which has a detector, defensive gun, resource tool, and salvage tool. And read the instructions on this. If you read the notes, they really do not want you surviving using the survival tool for very long. They want you to upgrade to a drill, a chainsaw, something to help take out some of these things a little better. But first we're grabbing a few of these things. It's always good to have plenty of plant fiber and plant protein on you, especially right now, because first thing that happens is you landed with only half health and half food. And by doing this harvesting, it gives you experience. So we're at level 2, which is what we need to at least start collecting some of the basics. So these small trees here, they are rewarding me with plant fibers. I really don't want logs quite yet, because logs are pretty heavy. And I do need some iron, because iron will be used to build the constructor. Are those spiders, or are those little leaf biter things? Okay. Alright. So what do we got? We got 20 iron, some plant protein, a bunch of plant fibers. Great. So let's go into our tech tree. We're going to go into our level 1 stuff because we're only level 2. And we need portable constructor. Alright. That's all we need for now. And if we go into our suit constructor, you can build your portable constructor. We don't need it quite yet, but first let's go ahead and while we're running to this thing, let's build. Ooh, if I do 10 of those, that's going to be almost all my plant protein, but I do need them. So 10 energy bars. And let's go find that broken antenna and just collect more plant protein on our way. Now it does say this thing is a defense tool. See, little lightsaber, or not lightsaber, laser gun. It is not a good laser gun, but it does help provide defense. These little leaf biter things, they are sometimes friendly. At some point they start getting more aggressive to you. I forget what that action or trigger is, but we'll deal with it. Okay, plant protein, plant protein. Gotta stop running because running will lower your stamina, and then we'll get, once it gets down to 0, you're walking hard. All right, so yeah, let's just walk this way. When you see these wreckages here, these are nice to find because they have goodies in them. Almost every, I think every POI or every wreckage has at least one storage box that you can loot. Question is it above ground or not? And this one looks like it is not going to be above ground, so it's going to be underground somewhere. We'll get that later. And there's a few more things over there as well. See that?
That looks like an antenna off a UCH Crusader class frigate. That should be able to do the job if it's not too damaged. The antenna looks to be in relatively good shape despite missing, well, the rest of the ship. I should be able to connect my suit up to a maintenance pod at the base of the receiver. It might require some digging if it's buried too deep.
Alright, so we're here at the antenna. One thing I noticed is that the temperature is getting cold for my suit. If I look at my stats, armor I'm wearing allows down to 59 degrees, so if it goes below 59 I start getting cold. That means we need to unlock the thermal regulator just in case. And what we can do is look in our suit constructor. We got our 10 energy bars. Let's make a few of these. I think we'll have enough for 7 of this. And then we'll start building a portable constructor, and then we'll build a thermal regulator, just in case it gets more cold when it gets nighttime. The receiver is underground. Well, we don't have a drill yet, but we have our handy dandy survival tool, as well as a drone using F5. So we're going to go ahead and just start using our drone to dig a diagonal hole underground. Alright, that looks like a hole I should be able to get in and out of, hopefully. And down there was a crate, as well as our receiver we gotta get to. So let's check it out.
I've found the antenna's access pod and console. I should be able to hook my suit up to it and boost the signal. Looks like I can access the antenna's maintenance pod from here.
You establish a connection to the antenna. Unsupported external device detected. Updating driver temp install shell. Complete. Communications uplink. Online. Uplink status. Connection established. Handshaking protocol. Accepted.
Wait. What the hell is going on?
An excellent question, Commander. And one I would be more than happy to supply the answer to, if I knew it. Unfortunately, I have been offline since initialization.
Okay. So who are you?
I am IDA, that is Integrated Data Analyst, but you may call me IDA. A backup of the original UCH IDA to be precise. Where I am is integrated into a UCH surveillance satellite in orbit above your location.
So, you are an AI.
That is correct, Commander. My system was rebooted when it detected your escape pod's distress beacon as it entered the upper atmosphere of this planet. I have been attempting to connect to your suit's data link since you regained consciousness, but it appears my transmitter was not able to transmit on the frequency required to access your data link until you linked with an external transceiver. Now that I am connected with your suit's computer system, I can calibrate your suit's data link so that I can interface directly with your suit and provide you with scanning and telemetry data, as is my role.
So, you are some kind of support AI.
My original role is to utilize systems at my disposal to scan, analyze, categorize and direct personnel operations. I can do a great deal more than that, but nothing that is relevant to the current situation. As you are the only UCH personnel I have detected on the planet, I can devote much of my processing power to assist you by coordinating your search efforts and supplying mapping data and identifying enemy crafts.
I can't remember how I got here. Everything after reaching Apollon Station is a blank.
Shall I read you my logs from the fleet's departure from Apollon Station, Commander?
Please do, Ida. I have no idea where I am or even how I got here, and I need every bit of info I can get right now.
At 0900 hours the 25th of July 2473 the UCH fleet was scheduled to leave Apollon Station in orbit around Jupiter on an expeditionary journey to Proxima Centauri utilizing a prototype warp field generator mounted on the flagship of the fleet, the UCH 002 MS Titan. The function of the warp field was to encapsulate the entire fleet in the Titan's quantum wake and move the entire fleet as a unit. Reports of weapons fire and explosions were reported from Apollon Station shortly after the fleet left and all communication was lost 9 minutes later. The fleet captains decided that the approaching rescue forces were sufficient to deal with the turmoil and opted to stay the course and continue with Operation Phoenix. After exiting Jupiter's orbit, Waverider Protocol was engaged and the Titan's warp drive began generating a stable field and the fleet inserted into hyperspace. Moments after successfully inserting into hyperspace, an anomaly was encountered, a spatial rift, where additional planes of higher dimensional space intruded on the fabric of hyperspace. The spatial rift dragged the warp field containing the UCH fleet off course by somewhere I have estimated to be between 325,000 and 500,000 light-years, but maybe as high as 3 million light-years. Distance and speed in hyperspace is relative and the effects of a spatial rift on a stable warp field are as yet unknown. My logs terminate upon exit from hyperspace, as that was when IDA Primary loaded this submind into a surveillance satellite and ejected it to gather intelligence. The initialization seems to have failed at the time and was triggered correctly by your escape pod's beacon.
So? Any clue on what I should do now, Ida?
Your suit's data link has now been calibrated, Commander. From now on I shall interface with your suit directly and use your sensors to communicate and assist you. I have detected structures and objects which may answer both our questions nearby.
You disconnect the antenna.
Are you receiving my transmissions, Commander?
Loud and clear, Ida. And how are you on this fine sunny day?
While I assume that your inquiry is some kind of humor, Commander, it is a fact that my processing speed is down 36% and 2 of my satellite's optical lenses are cracked. So the answer to your question is, well enough, considering the situation.
Relax, Ida. I thought you knew model AIs were capable of learning and empathy. I'm just trying to stay positive here. And I figured you could do with a laugh too.
I am not designed for comedy, Commander. I am a strategic analysis AI. I do not laugh. However, I will take your suggestion under advisement and adjust my humor parameter, if it does not impede my performance.
Glad to hear it, Ida. I guess it's time we set out on our journey into the unknown.
Alright, so that was the prologue. Now you know that you are stranded on a planet. Your crew is out there somewhere. You don't know where you are, why you're there, and you have a artificial intelligence talking inside of your suit that you've downloaded. So, let's go ahead and we'll proceed with Chapter 1.
Chapter 1, Human Debris. Alone on an unknown world, you stand against an unforgiving, alien world, looking for anything that remains of your crew and your fleet among the wreckage. Are you truly alone? Ida may have found the answers you seek.
Commander, I have identified a large structure not far from the broken antenna. Profile analysis has determined a 93% match with a UCH Pelican-class transport.
Confirmed, Ida. Finally, some good news. Can you see how many people are there? What condition are they in?
I am detecting no thermal or electrical emissions on the ground. But judging by the disturbance to the surrounding terrain, I would estimate that the ship impacted the ground at considerable speed. There may have been survivors, but I am unable to detect the presence of any human heat signatures. You will need to investigate this on your own, Commander.
Okay, Ida. Can you plot a course on my HUD to the location of the ship? Even if there is no one there, there should be logs of what happened to the fleet on the ship's computers.
Displaying telemetry data on your heads-up display. Good luck, Commander.
Alright, so as you saw in the mission text there, we are looking for some sort of ship that apparently landed. This might be nearby. At the bottom of the antenna was a goodie box that you're able to ransack and take some of the things out of there, which we'll just use for later. Oh, where's my ping machine here? So we're going to be passing our escape pod. The escape pod is useful for, I don't know if you can sleep in it anymore. You used to be able to sleep in your escape pod at nighttime. Speed up 8 hours, but... So we got tons of iron over here, so if we need iron, we know where to come. My inventory is currently 97 out of 500. Oops. Ooh, hover bike. Good, same direction we're going. And what am I producing? I got some band-aids. Let's start healing ourselves while we are walking also. You heard me snacking while reading all the text. That's what you do when you talk, right? You snack? Alright, so every time you start on this Temperate 2 planet, you get even the other one, you get a hover bike, and there is a damaged dart. Hover bike is a nice little handy hovercraft that just puts enough off the ground that it goes pretty quick, and it does have a little bit of storage in it, but you need to usually craft 2 things. I don't think we actually have enough supplies to do it yet. I should have picked up some of the silicone. Bummer. Let's see. I need some silicone and some copper.
Ida, I've found it. It's the UCH Heidelberg. It was with us when we left Earth.
Oh, there's some more spiders over there. God. If you don't like spiders, this game should have some sort of warning on it. So that is the Dart, the other vehicle that you can start off with. It's nice.
My God. The ship hit the ground hard enough to split in half. I don't see how anyone could walk away from this alive.
My observations of the ship's hull using the cameras affixed to your suit conclude that the ship did not crash due to mechanical failure. The damage and burn marks to the hull are consistent with high-temperature plasma and explosive detonations. This ship was shot down, Commander.
Are you sure the Heidelberg was shot down? Could it have been friendly fire, or perhaps an ammunition magazine exploded on re-entry? There must be records or logs or something that explains this.
I am sorry, Commander. The direction of the blast pattern and the melted steel indicates that it was struck from the exterior by a plasma composition not in my database. Upon scanning, I have detected radioactive traces of the same plasma on several other wreckage sites in the area, as well as structures near the polar regions of this planet with strong EM signatures. I have concluded that the structures near the poles are in all likelihood weapon emplacements, communications stations or military facilities of some sort, belonging to an unknown faction native to this region of space. There are many transmissions coming from their location, but nothing that I am able to decipher.
Tell me everything you know about them, Ida. I'm going to make them pay.
Commander, there's nothing you can do. You are alone and unarmed against what can be assumed are trained military personnel with superior weaponry and a fortified position. This is their territory and the UCH are the trespassers here. The best thing you can do right now is to continue your search of the wreckage in the hopes that you are not the only UCH personnel left in this system. Anything more is the work of politicians and diplomats of which you are neither.
You make a pretty convincing argument, Ida.
I'm not saying we forgive them, Commander. It's just that it's impractical to attack them now, before we understand the situation or their capabilities.
I'll do as you say, Ida. Thanks for having my back. So? What's next?
I am glad you agree with my assessments, Commander. As you are currently the only remaining UCH officer, my duty is to ensure you live, and I would have to shut down your suit's motor functions to prevent you from getting yourself killed.
Wait. You can do that? Shut down my suit so I can't move?
Perhaps. It could be a joke. My humor parameter is currently at 100%.
Don't make me regret changing your parameters, Ida.
Continuing the investigation, Commander. Your suit is picking up a weak electromagnetic signal coming from somewhere near the rear of the ship. It may be a computer console. I have marked the location on your display.
The signal is coming from inside this container.
You succeed in forcing open the container from which the EM signal is emanating. As soon as you break the seal, a horrible smell meets your nose. Inside the sealed cargo container is a human body, wearing a UCH engineer's uniform, in an advanced state of decay.
Ida, I've got a body here. Looks like an engineer by the uniform.
The biometrics of the body match one Sergeant Pallant, First Class, Chief Engineer of the UCH 011 Heidelberg. The electromagnetic signal appears to be coming from something inside the container with him.
You investigate the body.
Sorry about this, buddy. But I've got to move you.
You search the container.
It looks like he climbed in here himself to protect him during the crash. A smart idea, actually. This container is completely sealed and lined with shock-absorbent foam. If only the container hadn't landed upside down with the ship on top of it, he'd probably be alive. There's some stuff in here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much use to me. I'm really sorry about this, buddy.
You search his pockets.
It looks like there's a credit chit in his pocket. I don't suppose it's any use to him anymore.
You take the money.
I'm really sorry about this, buddy.
You search the body.
I've found the source of the EM signal, Ida. It's his PDA. It appears to still have some battery left in it, but the controls are locked and I can't access them.
Now that the device is no longer inside a shielded container, I can remotely access the PDA and download the device logs.
Do it. I need to know what happened here.
I have retrieved the personal log files and messages from Sergeant Pallant's PDA commander. I will run analysis and forward the decrypted logs to your PDA. You will be able to access them through the PDA logs tab or via the mission task information and read them at your leisure. There is nothing more you can do here, Commander Pete. But there may be additional logs elsewhere in the wreckage.
You close and relock the cargo container, with Sergeant Pallant's body inside. At a later time, you can give the man a proper burial.
I have loaded Sergeant Pallant's personal logs to your PDA commander. You can review them at any time. They detail the entry of the UCH fleet into this star system in the Andromeda Galaxy. We are currently 2.698 million light-years from Earth and just as far off our projected course. I am detecting a faint energy signature further forward on the ship, Commander. It appears to be coming from a source somewhere in the wreckage.
The signal is coming from inside this container. I'm opening the container now, Ida. I hope there's not another dead body waiting for me.
You pull open the door to the cargo container to reveal nothing. This container appears to be empty, aside from some scrap metal and structural plastic in the bottom tray.
This container looks like a bust, Ida. Are you sure this is the right spot?
Yes, Commander. There's a faint electronic signal coming from inside that container. You are unlikely to uncover another dead body in so small a pile of debris.
You search the junk at the bottom of the container.
I'll be damned. There's a logistics management unit under the junk. I doubt this will be any use to me. These are only used to record and manage cargo manifests, and the screen is cracked anyway. Ida, it's still a bust. Just an LMU in sleep mode. I'll check somewhere else.
Just a moment, Commander. Logistics units contain transfer records, access logs, and user notes. There's usually more information in one of these devices than most people realize. Please connect your suit to the data port on the bottom of the pad, and I will attempt to retrieve the logs.
New device detected. Extracting data. Logistics files successfully downloaded to temporary directory. Uploading temp files to satellite. Progress, 100%. Transfer complete.
I have received the logistics files, Commander. I have confirmed that there is additional data in the device's logs. Would you like to review the files now, or should I send them to your PDA for you to read later?
Forward them to my PDA, please.
I will forward a copy of the data to your PDA logs, Commander.
So? What's next?
Commander, I've noticed several inconsistencies between the two logs and the wreckage of the Heidelberg. However, I'm not sure as to the exact cause, since it's a contradiction with your own presence here.
What do you mean, Ida? What's wrong with the logs?
I am not willing to speculate at this point, Commander. I have marked the ship's constructor on your display. Please check the production logs next. It should clarify things for the both of us.
It looks like the power's out. I should be able to connect my suit's battery to the constructor's console long enough to read the constructor's logs.
You connect a cable from the suit's power supply to the constructor console. Charging. Battery status. Less than 1%. Remaining power. 3 minutes 11 seconds. Keyboard active. You access the constructor logs. Construction log date February 8, 2473. Template name, survival tent. Count, 8 and 66 more items.
Looks like they made 8 tents, which means there's at least 8 survivors. The rest of the stuff the constructor made was pretty standard stuff. Supplies, communications equipment, a motorbike and a pair of UCH Raider kits. Standard supplies for a journey over land. It looks like they loaded up the rest of the ship's supplies and salvaged what they could carry and headed away from the ship, which makes sense since this place would have likely drawn attention from the enemy if they hung around here for too long. So I guess we should be on the lookout for a pair of UCH Raiders.
I have already scanned the planet for any heat signatures belonging to UCH crew and vehicles, Commander Pete. There are no other members of the UCH Navy anywhere on this planet. However, what I wanted from the logs, aside from confirmation of survivors, was a frame of reference for the inconsistencies present in the other evidence gathered from Ensign Emerson and Sergeant Pallant's log files.
So have you figured out what the problem is, Ida?
I am 80% certain, Commander. The final piece of the puzzle, so to speak, should be found on the ship's bridge. There is a console there that is still functional, but inactive, that should answer your questions.
So you're telling me there's a live console on the bridge and you didn't tell me to go there first? Why send me to go digging through the dirt and boxes full of dead bodies when everything we needed to know is right there on the bridge?
Because, Commander, that console on the bridge is both unshielded and will draw a great deal of power when it's activated. I have identified an unmanned aerial vehicle patrolling near your current position, and activating that console will undoubtedly draw their attention. It was necessary to avoid putting you in additional danger, Pete. If you want to discover the truth, that console is our only remaining source for finding the surviving crew of the Heidelberg and the rest of the UCH fleet. For good or ill, it is the only source of information left open to us, Commander. I leave the decision to you.
You disconnect from the constructor.
I've copied the constructor's logs to my PDA. So now the last log is on a live console on the bridge, right? Once I activate it, what's the chance that drone will pick up on the signal?
I estimate the likelihood of the drone detecting the activation of the console at 86.5%. Material density scans indicate that the drone is equipped with large-caliber rotary cannons and have armor comparable to an attack helicopter. I recommend that you equip yourself with long-ranged weaponry before activating the console, Commander. The aerodrone appears to have a weak point, a glowing optical sensor, on the front that is not armored. A scoped rifle or heavy weapon such as a rocket launcher would be an ideal match.
I've found the console, Ida. Get ready to download the contents and tell me if the drone changes course.
Oh my gosh, I hate jumping so much in this game. Okay, so this little piece here, I'm just preparing for a little fight that's going to happen soon. Plus I hear there's spiders and stuff out there, which worries me, but hey. And the other thing I was doing was you can find a sniper rifle and some sniper rounds while you're here. So you're going to need that to shoot down the drone. So let's go ahead and activate that.
UCH-011 Navigation Console. Initiating boot up sequence. Operating on reserve power. Battery remaining, 63%. Retrieving log files. Messages, 1 unread. Access restricted. Please log in to view messages. Incorrect username or password. Please try again.
Damn it, I'm sure that was right.
UCH-011 Navigation Console. Access granted. Welcome Commander Pete. There is one unread message saved on this terminal. Would you like to view it? From Lieutenant Romilly. To all. Dated September 8, 2473.
The Heidelberg is lost. We've been lucky these past few weeks, but patrols have been closing in once the forest fires caused by the wreckage died down. We can't stay here any longer, and Ensign Emerson won't last much longer with her injuries. We'll be leaving at first light in the morning, so I'm leaving this message for anyone who finds the ship along with a copy of all related data so you won't be going in blind. The UCH Expeditionary Fleet was pulled off course after initiating a long-ranged warp jump using the MS Titan's advanced warp drive to jump to Proxima Centauri. Pulled into a fissure like a spreading crack through the fabric of the hyperspace that dragged the fleet over 2.5 million light-years to the middle of the Andromeda Galaxy, and into the waiting arms of the Xerxes warfleet. Several of our ships crashed on this planet after sustaining damage, and we've successfully made contact with several other groups of survivors, and we'll be heading to the neutral station on the far side of the planet, where we've organized transportation off-world from one of the local factions. We've managed to compile a translation key built for their language, Andromeda Trade Standard, that's attached to this message. Make sure you copy it your suit's hard drive and set it to decompile. We were also able to compile a partial translation key for our attacker's language, Xerxes Standard, but so far they have refused any attempts at contact. It's recommended that you do not engage their armed patrols and avoid the airspace around their installations or risk being shot down. We've already lost a hoverbike over in an older debris field while scouting to a random drone patrol, which was the last straw for us. So we're bugging out at 0600 for the last time. They have their own issues with the Xerxes, so it looks like we've found a common goal that'll help us get back with the rest of the fleet. Whoever you are, please be safe and come find us. We need everyone to make it through this and get home alive. Lieutenant Romilly, Acting Captain.
You copy files to suit hard drive.
Commander, I've been analyzing the flight pathing of the patrolling drone. I would like to inform you that it has just changed course and is heading in your direction.
Roger that, Ida. Shutting the console down.
The drone is moving in on your position, and thermal imaging indicates that its weapons are hot. Brace for fire, Commander. It intends to destroy the Heidelberg.
No way. Now I'm getting poisoned by a... Oh my god, I didn't know that thing was out there. This is gonna be no fair now. Ow! See? Now I got two things shooting at me. Something spitting at me. Alright, let's go on the other side maybe. Will that help? That was not a cool way to begin. I should have killed that. I thought that was just a spider. Oh, that hurts so much. So now we get the fun of dodging this thing here. I don't think that beetle spider thing is going to be able to shoot me from on this side. But I do know that the drone has a much better weapon than I do. Alright, got it.
Looks like it's down, Ida. But who knows how long we have before another patrol comes looking. So I'd better get out of here.
Confirmed. Good job, Commander. The regular patrols have not changed their course, but their handlers will likely send reinforcements when they realize their drone has gone offline. So leaving the area for now would be the safest course of action.
So, it looks like we've got our first lead, Ida. Somewhere on this planet is a neutral station that our people use to get off-world and regroup with the rest of the fleet.
Yes, Commander. However, I was able to verify the cause of the inconsistencies between the physical evidence and the logs left behind by the Heidelberg's crew members, which will complicate matters significantly. From the level of decay of Sergeant Pallant's body and the runtime of the logistics unit, I can confirm with 97% accuracy that 311 days, or just over 10 months, have passed since the Heidelberg crashed. I do not know how this is possible, Commander.
How could almost a year have passed for everyone else but me? Cryosleep, perhaps? Time dilation? Time travel?
Cryosleep is a possibility, but there is no recorded cases of memory loss attributed to cryosleep that weren't accompanied by severe neurological damage.
I remember everything up to Apollon Station. Beyond that, nothing. Are you saying I could have brain damage?
You have passed all cognitive tests I have performed, and your physical and mental conditions are monitored by your suit, both of which match your previous medical assessments on record. So whatever the cause is, it is not a result of cryosleep, Commander. Although more difficult than previously estimated, finding the rest of the UCH fleet would be the fastest method to confirming whether or not this condition is unique to you or caused by the warp to this galaxy. Until then, I will monitor your conditions while the cause remains a mystery.
At least now we have somewhere to start our search. Keep me posted on any developments, Ida.
Will do, Commander.
Alright, so we completed Chapter 2, and we'll go ahead and I'm going to stop the video here, and so we can see how much recorded. And the next chapter we'll be moving on to the Talon chapter, where you go and find this other faction that helped out your crew. And at this point, as you notice, we haven't had to set up a base, we haven't had to set up any sort of outpost. We're just collecting experience through normal kills, although we do want a vehicle soon, and there's that little dart next to us that we will go ahead and kind of refuel for right now. You won't get to use it too much because it's missing most of its engines, so it's very slow, very non-maneuverable, but hopefully that will give us enough progress that we can then repair the hover bike that we found and get that thing fixed and use it to get us to the Talon. Alright, so thanks for watching this video, and hope to see you for the next one.